I guess my first taste of estate planning is, I became a dad and then shortly after lost my dad unexpectedly.
Mm.
And I was like, married, attorney, all that, successful in most people's eyes. I'm like, wow, now that I'm a dad, actually, there's a lot I wish I would have been able to ask him about, just basics of being a dad, or, even family history stuff. So, that's kind of what I focus with on my clients. And again, you don't get credit for what's doing expected. I'm like, hey, I start all of my consults with, I just want to get to know you. Like, we're going to work backwards into the paperwork that works, whether it's a will-based plan, trust-based plan. We'll get to that, but there's two big questions I usually want to know from my clients when I first meet them. It's, okay, what prompted you to call us? What are your goals and what are your concerns? Like, let's just kind of flesh both of those out now. Let me learn about you and your family dynamics. You know, as you well know, most people look great on the outside, but as soon as you kind of open that veil, like, families are a mess. So let's figure out what's going on. What's keeping you up at night, and what do you want to have happen when you're gone? Okay, great. Then work backwards in the paperwork. But I'm like, hey, look, that's nice. We've got your assets taken care of, but let's work on more. Like, pass along, your insights, your values, struggles you've had, advice you have for your family, your kids and your spouse if you go before your spouse. And as you know, part of it's even getting people financially organized. Good example I use is like, hey, if something happens to both of y'all today, one of your siblings walks into your house, do they know, who do you bank with? Do you have a life insurance policy? What company is that with? Do you have investments? Is it a 401k? Is it an IRA? Where are those at? Do you have other insurance policies? Do you have other annuities? Do you have other rental property? Do they know? And if they know, do they know how to access it? Do they have legal documents to do so? Everly, people are like, I don't even know where everything is. Like, my
Yeah.
spouse does it all. So no, I'm like, okay, if y'all can't find stuff, no one else is going to be able to. So, I mean, that's kind of the conversations I have. And then when it comes to the extra, I'm like, look, you can write letters. People want to do letters. People want to do audio recordings. People want to do video recordings. We do any of the above. But I always kind of try to take the step further. And I'm like, yeah, everyone always, their mind will go toward, graduations, weddings, big moments in life. I'm like, yes, please address those. But truly in life gets hard, as I'm sure for everybody at one point or another. I'm like, when life gets hard, and if you're not here, that's truly when your kids are going to wish you were here, or at the very least leave advice for them, whether it's financial hardship, it's a divorce, it's moving across the country, it's the loss of a job. Leave some advice and insight for that. And I tell my clients, I'm like, look, I can't do that for you, but I'm certainly going to push you to do it. I'm going to enable you as much as I can to include that part in your estate plan too.
Yeah, I saw this guy, he's selling a book that's it's like a fill-in book, right? It's a
Yeah, so we send some of those out to clients actually too. The clients that are like, well, do you have preset questions? Like, I do. Or there's actually, I found one, Uncommon Goods, I think actually has the best one I've come across. Different companies will compile them. Yeah, we'll send it out, at the end, we usually wait a week because we send fiduciary letters to people. About a week after that, you get a book. We usually include a note card with it, like, hey, thanks for entrusting us with your plan. And, we also ask for a Google review and all that. And here's the book to put stuff in. So yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm big on systems and processes. So I guess that's taking that business background. That's the approach I take to running a law firm. And it doesn't really matter what industry I'm in. I'm kind of in the customer service business. Just what industry am I in? But I'm going to run it like a business. My product just happens to be estate planning right now.